Most people using ChatGPT for YouTube get nothing useful out of it. They type, "Give me viral video ideas," and get the same generic list every other creator gets that day. The tool is not the problem, your instructions are. In this video, I'll give you my complete 10-step system, from finding an idea to naming a channel, with the exact prompts I use at every stage. The one rule that decides everything. Before we get into the steps, there's one rule that decides whether any of this works for you. Your output depends on your input. Better input means better output. Simple, but almost nobody actually applies it. Here's what most people do. They type one short line, get a weak answer, and blame the model. But a short prompt gives ChatGPT almost nothing to work with, so it plays it safe and gives you the average answer. And the average answer is generic. By definition, it's built from everything, not from your situation. A strong prompt does four things. It gives ChatGPT a role, gives context about your channel and audience, states your goal clearly, and defines the format you want back. Skip any one of these, and the quality drops fast. So before you write any prompt, ask yourself one question. What do I actually need out of this? Not what should I type, but what's the real goal? Once you know that, the prompt almost writes itself. This one habit will improve your results more than any prompt template you'll ever copy. Step 1. Find ideas that already have demand. Most creators make the same mistake here. They ask ChatGPT to invent ideas out of nowhere. That's the hardest thing you can ask it, and it gives you the weakest results. You don't want invented ideas, you want ideas that already have proven demand, with an angle nobody else is using. So change the prompt. Instead of asking for ideas, ask for analysis first. Try this. Analyze the most popular YouTube videos in my niche from the last 30 days. Identify 3 recurring themes or points of disagreement. Then suggest 10 video titles that use those themes from an angle nobody is currently covering. Notice what this prompt actually does. It's not asking for creativity, it's asking for pattern recognition and then a gap. The themes show you what viewers already care about. The unused angle is your opportunity. You're not competing with existing videos, you're filling the space next to them. The second prompt I use here is for planning, not just one video idea. Act as a professional YouTube strategist. My channel is in niche. Suggest 5 pillar video concepts for long-form videos and 5 short-form ideas that feed into them. This builds you a full content calendar instead of one lucky idea. Long-form builds depth and watch time. Short-form builds discovery. Most people quit YouTube not because they're lazy, but because they run out of ideas at the worst possible time. This removes that problem completely. You'll never start from a blank page again. Join now my school community to learn all about faceless YouTube channels. Link is in my description. Step 2. Titles that actually sound like you. This is where most people quietly accept weak output. They ask for titles, get 5 that sound like everyone else's, and just pick the least bad one. The problem isn't the model, it's that ChatGPT has no idea what your titles usually sound like. So, give it that information. Go to YouTube Studio, open your analytics, and download your video data as a CSV. Start a new chat, upload the file, and write, "I'm making a video on topic." Use this file to learn the style of my existing titles, then give me 5 clickable titles written in that same style. The difference is immediate. You're no longer getting generic titles, you're getting titles that actually fit your channel, because the model now has something to copy your style from. That consistency matters more than people realize. Repeated title patterns build recognition, and recognition makes people click faster. If your channel is new and you don't have much data yet, this still works, just supply the reference yourself. Paste 5 or 6 titles from channels you want to sit next to in the sidebar, and ask for the same thing. The file isn't the point. Giving the model a clear target is. One more tip. Ask for titles built around a curiosity gap, the gap between what the viewer already knows and what they don't. A title that answers everything up front gives them no reason to click. A title that opens a question gives them one. Don't stop at the first 5. Pick your 2 favorites, paste them back in, and ask for 10 variations of each. Shorter, longer, as a question, as a statement, with a year, without one. You're not looking for a nicer sentence. You're looking for the version that promises the clearest result in the fewest words. Then finish the job yourself. Say each title out loud and ask if you'd actually click it in a sidebar full of other videos. If you hesitate, it's not ready. ChatGPT can generate 50 titles in a minute, but only you know what your audience responds to. That judgment call is yours to make, not the model's. Step 3. Thumbnail concepts before you open the editor. ChatGPT can't design your thumbnail, but it can do something more useful. Help you decide what the thumbnail needs to say before you waste 2 hours pushing text around a canvas. Use this prompt. I'm making a video titled Title. Suggest 5 thumbnail concepts. For each one, describe the main visual, the emotion it should show, and up to 3 words of overlay text. That 3-word limit is intentional. Most weak thumbnails fail because they try to say too much. Forcing a short limit forces clarity, and clarity is what survives being shrunk down to a phone screen. You can also use it in reverse. Describe 2 or 3 thumbnails you've seen perform well in your niche, and ask what they have in common. You'll usually get a clear answer about contrast, emotion, or simplicity, and once you can name the pattern, you can repeat it. Step 4. Build the outline before the script. Never ask for a full script first. This is the single biggest mistake I see, and it's why so many AI scripts feel flat. You ask for a script, get a wall of text with no real structure, and no amount of editing can fix a broken skeleton. Ask for the outline instead. Outline a detailed video script on topic, around 8 minutes long. Follow this structure. Hook, 4 main sections. Conclusion, call to action. Place the most valuable point around the 6-minute mark. That last part matters. Placing the payoff late isn't a trick, it's retention planning. If your best point lands in minute 2, viewers have no reason to stay until minute 7. Deciding where the payoff lands is a structural decision, and that's exactly what an outline is for. Once the outline comes back, don't accept it as is. Read it, cut the thin sections, reorder anything that doesn't flow. It's your video, and you know your audience better than the model does. Think of the outline as a starting shape, not a finished plan. One more thing to ask for at this stage, and it's what separates an average script from a strong one. A transition line between each section, phrased as the question a viewer would naturally be asking at that moment. Most videos don't lose people in the middle of a point. They lose them in the gap between 2 points, where the video suddenly jumps. A question closes that gap. It sets up a small expectation, and the viewer stays to get the answer. Done well, 10 separate sections stop feeling like 10 lessons and start feeling like one conversation. Step 5. Write a hook that survives the first 15 seconds. The first 15 seconds decide whether the rest of your video ever gets seen. Everything after that only matters if this part holds attention. Use this prompt, generate 5 hook options for this video. Each should be 2 to 3 sentences, and each should use a different trigger. Curiosity, a problem the viewer recognizes, and a surprising statement. Asking for different triggers is the key part. If you just ask for hooks, you get 5 versions of the same idea. Asking for different angles gives you real options, and often, the one you wouldn't have written yourself turns out to be the strongest. Quick note on why each trigger works. Curiosity works because the brain wants to close an open question. A recognized problem works because people pay attention when they feel understood. If you describe their situation accurately, they assume you can solve it. A surprising statement works because it breaks the expectation they walked in with. Keep the hook short, under 30 seconds, ideally. Its job is to hook people, not to explain the whole video up front. Step 6. Turn the outline into a full script. Now and only now ask for the script. And ask for it one section at a time, not all at once. Use this prompt. Expand section 2 of this outline into a complete narration script. Write it in simple, spoken English, short sentences, no jargon, as if you're explaining it to a friend. Doing it section by section matters for 2 reasons. The output stays sharper because the model is focused on one thing at a time, and you stay in control, reviewing as you go instead of trying to fix 3,000 words all at once. Then comes the part nobody talks about. Read it out loud, every single time. Written English and spoken English are different texts that reads fine on screen can trip your tongue completely. Anywhere you stumble, rewrite it. Anywhere it sounds like an article instead of a person talking, rewrite it. This is also where your own voice goes back in. Add the phrases you actually use. Add the small opinions the model would never risk. ChatGPT can build the structure and carry the explanation, but it can't sound like you unless you put yourself back into this pass. That's the entire difference between a script that feels assembled and one that feels like it came from a real person. Step 7. Descriptions and tags through gap analysis. Titles and descriptions are the first things YouTube reads to understand your video, yet most creators write them in 90 seconds and never think about them again. For the description, paste in your full script or transcript and ask, write a fully optimized YouTube description for this video with a short opening paragraph, timestamps, and these primary keywords worked in naturally, keywords. The word naturally matters. Keyword stuffing is easy to produce and just as easy to detect. Tags are where the more interesting method lives. Instead of asking for tags directly, ask for the gap. Analyze the top 5 ranking videos for search term, then suggest tags and keywords that none of them appear to be using. That reframe is the whole point. Anyone can list the obvious keywords, which means everyone already has. What you actually want is the space they left uncovered. Competing head-on against 5 established videos on the same terms is a fight a new channel usually loses. Claiming the ground nobody else took is a much easier position to hold. The same logic applies to choosing topics. Broad search terms look attractive, but deliver almost nothing to small channels. Specific, longer search terms have far less competition and give you a real shot at showing up at all. Step 8. Turn your analytics into a growth plan. This is the step almost nobody uses, and it's the one with the biggest direct impact on your channel. Go to YouTube Studio, open your analytics, switch to desktop mode, and export your data as a CSV. Upload it to ChatGPT and ask, "Here is my channel analytics data. Identify the 5 biggest problems holding back my growth, and give me a specific action plan for each one." What you get back isn't motivation, it's a diagnosis. Numbers you've been staring at without understanding turn into plain sentences about what's actually going wrong. Maybe your click-through rate is fine, but retention collapses at 90 seconds. Maybe it's the opposite. Those 2 problems need completely different fixes, and guessing between them just wastes months. You can go further. Upload the retention graph for one specific video and ask where viewers are leaving and why. Ask which of your videos brought in the most subscribers, and what they have in common. That question is worth running every few months, because the answer is usually not the video you'd expect. Most creators change things based on gut feeling. This step lets you change things based on evidence, and that difference adds up quietly over a year. One warning: don't ask it to predict your future views, and don't treat every suggestion as an instruction. It's only reading numbers you gave it, not watching your videos. Take the diagnosis seriously, but treat the advice as a starting point you still have to judge for yourself. Join now my school community to learn all about faceless YouTube channels. Link is in my description. Step 9. Using ChatGPT while you edit. Obviously, ChatGPT can't cut your timeline or add sound effects for you. That doesn't mean it has no role in editing. It has 4, and I use all of them. First, visual ideas. If you make faceless videos, every line of your script needs something on screen, and running out of ideas is real. Use this prompt. You are an expert video editor. Suggest 5 visual ideas for this line. You'll usually get at least one idea you can build in a few minutes. Second, naming an effect. This has saved me more time than anything else on this list. Say you want one shape to smoothly morph into another, but you don't know what it's called, so you can't search for a tutorial. Describe it in plain words and ask ChatGPT for the name of the effect. Once you have the name, the tutorial is one search away. Third, skipping the tutorial altogether. Ask for step-by-step instructions to create a specific effect in the exact software you use. You'll get a written walkthrough you can follow at your own pace, instead of scrubbing through a 15-minute video for the one part you actually need. Fourth, background music. Describe your video's topic and mood, and ask what style of soundtrack fits. You'll get a clear direction, something ambient and dark, something warm and slow, and then you can search the YouTube audio library with intent instead of scrolling through hundreds of tracks hoping something clicks. Step 10. Branding without guessing. A few years ago, naming a channel meant sitting with a notepad for a week. Now it's a 20-minute job, and there are 3 parts to it. The channel name. Ask for 15 channel name options in niche. Short, easy to pronounce, easy to spell, and not already taken by a large channel. Then check every single one on YouTube yourself before committing the model. Can't verify availability, and finding out about a name collision late is painful. The logo. Give it your channel name and a short description of your content, and ask for a simple, clean logo concept that will still read clearly at a small size. That last part matters, because your logo will almost always be seen as a tiny circle, never as a large image. The channel description. Ask for a description that clearly explains what the channel covers, who it's for, and what viewers can expect, with your niche keywords worked in naturally. This isn't decoration, it's one of the signals YouTube uses to place your channel in the right content ecosystem, especially early on when it barely knows anything about you. Build your own prompt sheet. One habit before we wrap up that makes everything above faster. Every time a prompt gives you output you're happy with, save it. Not buried in your chat history where you'll never find it again in one single document you keep open while you work. After a few months, that document becomes the most valuable file on your computer because it's tuned specifically to your channel instead of copied from someone else's. Write each saved prompt with a blank space where the topic goes so you can reuse it in seconds. Add one line underneath about what you were trying to achieve with it in 3 months. you won't remember why you phrased it a certain way. This isn't about collecting prompts for the sake of it. It's about removing the moment where you sit there trying to remember how you got a good result last time, because that moment is where most people quietly stop using the tool altogether. What this tool cannot do. I want to be honest about the limits here, because a course that pretends there are none isn't a useful course. ChatGPT cannot tell you what will go viral. Nobody can. It can't see this week's trends unless you feed them in. It has no taste, so it will happily hand you something technically correct and completely lifeless. And it can't make you consistent, which is still the real bottleneck for almost every channel that fails. What it does is remove friction. The blank page, the title you rewrote 9 times, the effect you couldn't name, the analytics you never opened. Those are the things that quietly drain the energy you needed for the work that actually matters. Handing them off means you arrive at the important decisions with something left in the tank. The creators who win with this won't be the ones with the best prompt collection. They'll be the ones who use the time it saves to make more videos and think harder about the ones they make. The tool isn't the advantage, what you do with the hours it gives back is. That's the full system, 10 steps, start to finish. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these steps are you going to use first? And is there a part of your process you'd never hand over to AI? Let me know in the comments below.